I really forget how to open these.
That's okay.
Welcome to the podcast, Purple Panda. I'm Purple.
I'm Panda.
And it's our Father's Day episode. Now, tell me, Josh, what's the special theme that we've prepared?
Special theme. It's not your daddy's day.
Except it is.
Except it is.
We're all our plans are up in the air because my father was supposed to be on for this episode, but then he backed out last minute. So I'm gonna talk about Death's dynamic shroud,
and I'm gonna talk about things that are related to my father, kind of.
Okay, cool.
At least I'm gonna shoehorn that in there.
At least we got something. So okay. Little backstory for this. We have not done a podcast since the last one we did that got lost.
Yeah.
So you haven't heard from us since the Shazam episode. And
that's a long time.
It's been a while. And I don't remember. We do like song of the week, movie of the week. We do like 3 segments, music, movies, and like something else, I think.
Well, let's do a quick wrap up of the episode they lost.
Okay, we talked about Endgame.
Avengers Endgame.
Wasn't great.
It was alright.
It was okay.
I enjoyed it.
Pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
That's about all you missed, because that's like all we talked about.
Basically.
So,
I'm sure there's something else, but oh well.
We have got so much to talk about, and we're definitely not going to cover all of it. So what do you want to start with?
Tony's happened.
Oh, okay. The Tony's Award. I thought you were talking about somebody named Tony.
Yeah, he
happened.
But, you know,
I don't care.
I know.
Quite frankly. Because it happened during E3. I might have cared if it didn't happen on the same days as E3.
That's fair.
But I can only care about one thing per day, and I cared about E3 that day.
But the reason why I bring this up is because I really would like to get a couple more guests back on the podcast, and that would be a sly shout out to Sadie, which would be a nice time for her to come on and share her ideas about the Tonys.
Sadie and Roberto on.
Yeah. So that's my quick little
that'd be pretty cool.
Shout out. Otherwise, yeah, no, E3 happened. Which
we're
gonna know we're saving.
All right, we're gonna talk about that at
all
the
of
end.
Video games.
Okay, sounds good.
But quick thing on the Tonys thing, I heard that I forget her name, but she was a handy-capable girl in a wheelchair that just won for, was it Best Performance?
I don't know. I did hear about this though, so it's pretty neat.
Yeah, no, it was great. And it was within a role that wasn't typically for handy-capable people. So it's very impressive.
That is really cool.
So shout out to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got.
When like she went on stage, do you think anybody said break a leg backstage?
You know, what I kept thinking was, how can they rate her dance moves? Like compared to others, like how
was it a musical? Was she dancing?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
I mean,
but I believe it was a musical. So then is it more about her coordination and her ability to?
It's her top half. What she's doing with with her arms away from her.
But no, I did wonder how they ended up ranking her within it. But it's an interesting. It's interesting for sure.
Yeah. It is good news for the handy-capable community, and this segment it started off as a really fun, lighthearted thing, and then it went way wrong. So yes, I am happy about it. It is really cool.
You're happy it went wrong?
Yeah, very happy.
Goodness sakes. Oh, 5 minutes in, and this is where we're at. All right.
You want to talk about music?
Let's talk about music.
Okay. I have been doing a lot of... That hurt you? I have been doing a lot of listening recently, and I think this is where I'm going to get back into the swing of things because I want to talk about Death's Dynamic Shroud and why they're my new death grips.
This feels like a
this
confession.
This is bad news for you specifically because you have to be around me occasionally. So, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I don't
ahead of time.
I don't automatically dislike Death's Dynamic Shroud like I do Death Grips.
Have you listened to a little bit of it?
A hair.
Okay. Because it's weirder than Death Grips, but maybe in a way that you'd like. I don't know.
It didn't turn me off immediately. So
that's good.
Yeah.
I just adore this group, and I should say it's a vaporwave group made up of 3 different people. And they made SeaWorld, which is like a staple of the vaporwave community, back in like 2014, I want to say. What?
They made SeaWorld in California, the amusement park.
They did. They funded it. They built it with their bare hands.
Oh god.
No, they did
PETA hates them.
They did an album called SeaWorlds, spelled without an O, I think, and then with like Japanese symbols all around it or something like that. I don't know. It's weird. They got that vaporwave aesthetic thing going on where they every song on I'll Try Living Like This, almost every song is in Korean, but as far as I know, they're all like American. So, I mean, when I say they're in Korean, I mean that the song titles are in Korean, so specifically non-Korean speaking people cannot recommend their songs in casual conversation. Which is unfortunate. But it's also, not such a big deal because nobody would want to recommend their songs in casual conversation. You don't just casually go, hey, you want to listen to some Death's Dynamic Shroud? And then they look at you like a madman as you listen to roughly an hour of people screaming and VHS effects going on. And you're like, wasn't that just a gosh darn good album? And they're like, it sounded like sounded like a real song, but like broken, and that's it. No, I want to go really in depth on Death's Dynamic Shroud and why I think it's kind of like genius, but I can't do that right now because I'm not prepared. I don't have my notes. But I will say, I'll Try Living Like This by Death's Dynamic Shroud. If you want a vaporwave album to get into it, like if you want, I think it's a perfect entry level vaporwave album because it's like not super experimental and it's like pretty catchy for the most part. So if you're interested in getting into this whole weird movement, that's a good place to start. So that's what I'll say. And I'm probably going to be making a video on them, so stay tuned.
Cool.
And you're going to be making a video on Death Grips. I'm actually out of the money store discussion because you have a channel now, so you're going to be doing it on your own. On your channel.
You're not even going to do it with me?
No, you're going to do it all on your own. You're going to sit down and you're going to talk about every Death Grips album. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
No.
No, we are still okay. We are planning on doing the money store video.
Yeah, that's going to be coming out later this summer for sure.
Probably. Yeah.
If it comes out in the fall, I'm sorry, I failed you.
Yeah. I've also got a
hot take. I have actually started working on it.
Sick.
But no info.
Okay, sounds good. We won't spoil that.
Nope.
Also, update Angel. There's no update on Angel. It'll happen when it happens. I've just been too lazy to finalize the script. It's mostly written.
That's my favorite update I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Update.
I haven't worked on it for a couple months. But the weather's nice now. It was so bad on my part because when I was driven to finish it when I was working on the script and I was gonna finalize it, And then I got to the point where like, okay, let's film this thing. And I was like, wait a second. It's winter in Minnesota and we have to shoot at night. So filming wasn't going to happen for at least a few months. And now at this point, like I'm working on other stuff. So I have to get back to Angel. I'll finish it up. You're going to be our lead actor. And maybe only actor. I don't know.
I caught the part.
Depends on how things turn out. Yeah, you did it. You didn't even have to audition or anything.
Awesome.
So Angel, it'll happen eventually.
Okay.
Jeez, if this is the rate we're going for this short film, imagine how long like East of Enchilada 2 is gonna take. Which is like, if we do start working on that, our plan was to make it somewhat like not feature length, but like more than a short film. Right? It's been a while since we like conceptualized it.
Yeah, we've gone back and forth on it.
So that's the other thing. When Angel's done, we can look at that, and I'll write a script or whatever. But Angel's not going to be done for a while because, filming things is hard, especially when schedules are weird. So that's my update. No new info. Well, thanks for tuning in.
You want to hear my song of the week?
What's your song of the week,
My
Jeff?
song of the week is Long Train Runnin' by the Doobie Brothers.
Nice. And you played a little bit of it for me, and I think I have heard it before.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Because without love, where would you be now?
I mean, probably right here.
So my father saw these guys in concert. He was not impressed.
Oh. Okay.
He really.
So so let me get this straight. Your song of the week is Long Train Runnin' by Doobie Brothers, specifically because your father saw them in concert and didn't like them. Okay. That's a solid choice.
Oh, let me explain. So, there's this thing in the Midwest called Moondance Jam, and it's a big old music festival. Lots of bands go up there and play music. It's kind of dying down nowadays, but maybe it'll still be around. Next year, we'll see. And one year they had the Doobie Brothers, and my dad's a pretty big fan of the Doobie Brothers. Not huge, but he likes their stuff. Yeah. Yeah. And so he was pretty excited to go see them. They have a ton of hits that you wouldn't know that you knew until you listened to them.
Yeah,
because you wouldn't know Long Train Running.
Not really, no.
Without hearing it.
It sounded vaguely familiar, but I don't know it. So they wheeled them out of the retirement home and they put them on the stage.
And then they decided not to play any of their hits.
I'm fine with that. I know you're probably gonna think he's gonna be mad, but no. I'm good.
No, but see, the idea of this is that he went to go hear them and hear the music that he knew from them, and the music he knew from them was, a decent amount of songs, and they just didn't play any of them.
Yeah.
And then nobody liked their show. So
well, I understand that it's not a popular thing to do that. When bands do it, people get upset, but I think it should be encouraged because even if you're the Doobie Brothers, even if you had a couple hits like 25 decades ago, you should play what you want to play, and sometimes what you want to play is not what the public wants you to play, I think. And if you want to, not hate yourself, you gotta, take one for you every once in a while.
Sure.
Like when we saw Modest Mouse and they didn't play Float On.
I believe there needs to be a happy medium.
Sure. Give the audience a little bit of what they want.
Because otherwise they're not going to come out and see your next show.
And that's unfortunate, because I'd be excited to hear the deep cuts, no matter what band I'm going to see. So, there's two frames of mind.
Yeah.
I would be impressed that they didn't play any of their hits, but most people wouldn't.
Yeah, well, and then there's the issue where what if you only like the hits? You don't like any of the deep cuts.
Right, but
because that's why they're deep cuts.
For most bands... Well, yeah, and you're right. It probably depends on the band. if I'm sure there are bands. I don't know about Doobie Brothers. I don't know the discography too well, but
Me neither.
there are a lot of bands who their hits are typically their least good songs, like Red Hot Chili Peppers, like Rush, like a lot of bands. And then there are bands where they were one hit wonders for a reason because they just struck gold once, but they weren't that great beyond that. So I don't know which one Doobie Brothers is, and that kind of changes things, I suppose.
Well, according to
But
my father, their hits were the good ones, and that's that.
okay,
And this is from a guy who goes back and forth on that kind of stuff too. You know, he likes the deeper cuts of AC/DC, and you know the more popular stuff he kind of poo-poos. So I mean, it's he's kind of in the same boat as us, where it's like, well, sometimes you like the deep cuts, sometimes the deep cuts are deep cuts for a reason.
yes.
Um,
Sometimes the deep cuts are the cheap cuts,
yeah, I like that.
and sometimes the hits are the shits.
I like that even more. Yeah, that worked surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Total props, Colin. Total props.
That came together way better than I was expecting to when I started talking.
I know. That's why I'm giving you total props. Jeez, that was well done.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, so Doobie Brothers, maybe don't see them in concert, but they have some good songs.
Could it be just because they're geriatric?
Could
that
be.
That was just like not exciting.
It could be.
Right.
It very well could be.
Because I, not to be ageist or anything, but I would typically not go see a rock band over the age of like 75 or 70. What? Are you missing your phone?
No, did you bring me a water?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's alright. I just...
Did you just have a... I could go get you one.
No, it's totally fine.
Okay.
I just, for some reason, I thought you gave one to me, and then I lost it.
No, I forgot.
Okay.
I went
no,
to
that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
What is your take on like old bands? Like, what do you think the cutoff is, if there is one?
I went and I saw AC/DC on their last tour through Minnesota before Brian Johnson couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It definitely, you could definitely tell it wasn't in their prime and whatnot, but I still had a blast. I thought the music was really good. The singing was a little off here and there, but it made up for it because the show was really nice.
Okay.
I also saw Iron Maiden, and Iron Maiden still rocks the house.
Okay.
Like, unbelievably. Like, they have a Legacy of the Beast tour coming up this summer, and I am really, really bummed that I'm not going to be able to go to that because they blew me away last time. Those are probably the oldest bands I've seen. I mean, I saw Judas Priest, but that was a long time ago, and I don't remember it too well. I remember, the little bit I remember was enjoying it. But as far as old band goes, if they can still do it, they can still do it.
Yeah, I guess. I suppose there shouldn't be an arbitrary cutoff point.
Yeah,
I
think it all depends on the band and the people doing it
and whether or not it's Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, and whether or not it's Ozzy Osbourne.
Because did you go see him, or was it Abe that went to go see him?
I didn't see him.
Abe saw him and he said it was I mean I don't want to quote him or anything, but basically he said it was like he's really old and probably shouldn't be doing this anymore.
Yeah. Well, and my parents, my dad went and saw Tom Petty before he passed.
Oh, yeah.
And he said Tom Petty still had it.
Okay.
Yeah. So...
And I mean, like, you could get to a point where you're, like, in your, like, 50s and 60s and you're still good. Like, when we saw Soundgarden, I don't think they were in their 60s quite yet. How old would the Sound? Like, 50s, maybe?
I don't know.
But because they got started in, like, the mid-80s, so... They've been around a while, but they were still good. They still had it. Chris Cornell still had it. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think I think as long as you can do the music and do it well, at least to a point where you feel confident that people are going to actually enjoy it, then do it. It doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah. And but yeah, certain artists, they just keep going even after like they probably shouldn't be anymore. I think it's just because, like, I don't know, they like money or they're just too stubborn to give up.
Well,
like,
what do you do when that's been your life since you were 20?
yeah. Willie Nelson he's still alive, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I believe he still
I'm
does
pretty
stuff.
sure.
So,
but does he sound bad? Because, a lot of his music...
That's the other one. Abe went to go see Willie Nelson, and he said it was just, like, sloppy.
Sloppy.
Like...
That's a shame.
Yeah. But then again, that's, like, both those things. It's a secondhand account from me, and there were just one show, so I can't really speak for all their stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean... the Rolling Stones still tour, right? Don't
they came around not all that long ago.
They're pretty old. They're pretty ancient.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't see them, but I wouldn't have seen them back in their prime probably. Not unless it was really cheap.
The Rolling Stones is a like classic band that I've never really gotten into. I don't dislike them like the Beatles. It's just kind of like I've just never gone out of my way to listen to them. Maybe I should. I'm sure I'd like them.
They have some songs that are pretty good, if you ask me, but nothing that I was dying to hear live or anything.
Right.
But yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess it all depends on the band.
Yep.
That's my vote.
To wrap up music here, my song of the week is Annie's Song by John Denver. And yeah, it's pretty good. My story behind this is I just did a dance recital, and this is one of those dance recitals that each performance went for a little over 4 hours. So for a weekend, I would go in for about 6 hours a day and then just do a dance recital, just sit down, and I would run the music, run the lights, and just listen to music and watch kids dance. And one of the songs was Annie's Song by John Denver. And at first I was like, it's that song from Free Fire. But then I was like, I actually really like this song. I should add it to my good songs playlist. So yeah, there's some John Denver for you.
Cool.
It's a great song.
Nice.
I love that folk meets orchestra thing he's got going on there. I love that aesthetic. I don't even think you can call it aesthetic. I like that kind of music where it starts simple and it gets dramatic. This is really good.
Yeah. Want to talk about some movies?
No.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about movies. Oh, wait, there was a...
What was there?
Before we move on, there's a new, The National album.
Yes.
I thought it was really good.
I haven't listened to it.
That's about all I have to say.
I did know it. I knew it came out, but I didn't listen to it. I'm
Cool.
bad.
Cool beans. Let's talk about movies.
Okay.
And let me bring up my...
I'll just start here.
Okay, go for it.
I am gonna talk mildly in depth about the movie Us, which is also my movie of the week, because I finally saw Us.
Sick! I really like that movie. I want to talk to you about it.
I did as well. So we're gonna save that till after you do your movie of the week.
Where is it? There it is. Okay.
Sound good?
All right. My movie of the week is wait for it.
It's loading so slowly.
Wait for it.
It's loading so slowly.
No, nothing's loading. I'm just trying to remember the name of it.
Oh, I forgot about Rocket Man. Oh, I've been really listening to a lot of Elton John.
My movie of the week is...
I enjoy Elton John.
Mulholland Drive.
Cool, you were talking about that.
It's a David Lynch film.
And?
That's about it.
It's crazy?
Not really. Okay, Mulholland Drive was pitched to me as... okay, shout out to Jason, or he's got like a real name, but we call him Jason in Movie Club. I don't know if you're going to hear this, Jason, but when you laid out your list of David Lynch films from order of least accessible or most accessible to least accessible, what intrigued me was I believe the last two on your list were Eraserhead and then Mulholland Drive, as in Mulholland Drive is the least accessible. That intrigued me because I always thought Mulholland Drive looked like a normal old movie with a little bit of a weird flair to it, but weirder than Eraserhead, which is potentially one of the strangest films I've seen in years. I had to go check it out. And for like 2/3 of the movie, I was like, I don't know. It's pretty easy to get into. It's pretty accessible. It's pretty straightforward. And then it turned into a David Lynch movie for about half an hour. And I don't know what to think of what I experienced. It's quite bizarre, and it doesn't really explain itself, but you can kind of come up with your own interpretation of what happened. And I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it. I recommend it. It's a weird movie.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch David Lynch films, including Eraserhead, for the longest time. But that's got to come after my Kubrick run that I have to do still.
Yeah, that's going to be a weird double run to go on.
Go from weird to weirder. It'll be good.
And then you're going to watch... Have you seen High Life?
I have seen High Life.
High Life is Mulholland Drive in space.
Oh. Okay.
It's funny how... It's weird how much the two films remind me of each other.
I don't know what to think about High Life.
We'll save that for A24
we will
Quest.
Definitely save that for A24 Quest. But it's something that I'm going to have to sit on for a little bit, which is why I'm kind of glad we're not doing A24 Quest today.
Yeah, and I saw it a few days ago, and I still don't feel fully equipped to discuss it. So
cool. Good, I guess.
I would say I should watch it again, but I'm definitely not going to. We'll see. We'll see about that. Anywho, my movie of the week's Mulholland Drive. Go drive to a drive-in and watch it.
Before I forget, Ghostbusters.
Yeah?
Ghostbusters 3.
Oh, yeah.
That's,
with, like, the original cast.
The original cast.
I don't trust it. Because I don't think it... I don't want to say it's going to be good just because the original cast is coming back.
That's fair.
Because it's still a Sony movie, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Sony has produced... they produce Blade Runner 2049 and... Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So, like, they are behind two of the greatest films of the last decade. But they also did Emoji Movie and, more importantly, the last Ghostbusters movie. So, I don't want to trust them. And it's not even really them. It's just who do they get to do it. If they get Paul Feig, I'm not going to see it because I hate that man. And I have to make... Paul Feig's the bright guy, right? Yes, it is Paul Feig, because Kevin Feige, or whatever his name is the Marvel guy. Anywho, they got the original cast back, but I don't hold out any hope, because... I don't know. It's going to be forced, and it's going to be dumb. And they're going to hunt Egon's ghost.
I really hope that's true.
I mean, they're going to have to mention it somehow.
Yeah, or just CGI him in there.
Oh, that would be awful.
It would, wouldn't it?
CGI Leia, Egon into it, and he looks conspicuously younger than everybody else. What if it's revealed Egon was actually a robot? And so he's still the same age?
What? What if they had...
And that's their excuse.
What if they had Fat Remus in there?
Oh, yeah, because
late life
when
Harold
Ramis got, like, really fat.
Ramis.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be... What if he's just Slimer?
Oh, what if it's like a time loop thing where Slimer's actually... We should stop talking about this. So no, I
Go ahead.
mean I wouldn't even say I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm sure they're gonna mess it up somehow. I'd like to be proven wrong, of course, but
So when Ghostbusters 3 comes out, rewatch 1 and 2 and then go home.
yeah,
There you go.
absolutely,
And if it's good, then maybe go see it. I don't know.
sure. That's one of those. I'm certainly not going to go see it at launch. I'm just going to wait to see what people think of it.
Yeah. Now back to us.
Yes.
Me and you. What are we up to today?
I'm gonna talk about the new Jordan Peele movie.
Get Out?
Yeah,
Cool.
Get Out 2. Get more out.
I thought you were going to say Get Outer.
Get outer. Oh, but no. Us is the greatest Twilight Zone movie in existence.
It's really good.
Even better than the actual Twilight Zone movie. Now, I'm not trying to say Us is like a masterpiece or anything, because there's certainly issues.
Yes, but
But it is really, really good, and I, for one, think it's better than Get Out. And I feel like
completely agree.
apparently that's a pretty, like, uncommon opinion.
And I think everyone else is wrong.
I think
Again,
the main criticism
how it
I
works.
read about Us is that it doesn't have as strong a political message as Get Out,
and I have no problem with that.
Not only do I not have a problem with that, I read that as a good thing, because it proves that Jordan Peele can just make a straight up horror movie that doesn't have to be politically minded.
Yeah.
Because if us did have a strong political message, I would get a little annoyed, and I would think that's just what he does. Like, he just needs to make political statements instead of like make good movies. And I was very happy to know that Us is not so much political and more so like actually about what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a bit of a political undercurrent to it, but it's not the kind of thing you would expect. It's kind of about like classism and that kind of thing, but that's like in the background. It's like it's there for the people who want to interpret it that way, but it's like it doesn't like push it in your face like Get Out very much did.
Now, so Us is about a girl who ends up experiencing something traumatizing one day at the beach, and then she's never the same since. And then she grows up and has a family of her own, 2 kids and a husband, and they...
Before you go any further, before we forget, I want to mention the first, like the opening sequence of Us was amazing.
Yes.
It's like, it's perfectly sets up everything, and it's like, it's shot so well, and it's so pretty and so creepy.
Yeah, I mean, this whole film is really well shot.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just...
Jordan Peele's got a good
at
good eye for cinematography. He certainly does.
Yeah.
And
it's good.
The opening sequence is great. But yeah, go on.
So then, she has this family when she grows up, and they end up going out to this beach house that they have on a lake, and they're kind of tooling around, and then her husband says, "Oh, we're gonna go down to the pier." Well, that's the same pier that she had that traumatizing experience at.
Yeah.
And then some more shenanigans go on there. She loses her son for a hot second, gets him back. Then they go home, and that night, there's a family waiting outside.
In the other coolest scene in this movie.
Oh, it's so good.
That I was gritting ear to ear in the family scene when they're just standing in the darkness out there, because horror movies these days like don't have the patience or the guts to just be just uncomfortably creepy.
Yeah.
And that's what that whole scene was. It's like, because it's like it's a great scene because it is like tense and creepy, because there's just this shadowy family just standing in their driveway completely motionless, and it's funny because of the dad's reaction to it.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Oh, well, I mean, that's one of the best parts about this film, is it has an amazing sense of humor.
Yes, it is very, very
throughout
funny.
the entirety of the film.
Yeah.
Even with it being
horrific. It is a full-on comedy horror comedy, which is... I liked it. And Get Out was, too, as well, but I think this movie kind of pulled it off a little smoother.
I think this movie did it way better.
Yeah.
Get Out was good and all, but I wasn't actually laughing throughout the majority of that movie. Meanwhile, I laughed
quite a bit through it. I mean, this movie's got zombie Tim Heidecker in it. So
yeah, it's great.
It's great. But I okay. How much do you want to spoil about this and talking about? Because it's been out for like it's not even in theaters anymore. So
it is. There's a couple theaters that still are playing it. But I don't want to go too in deep. Like I don't want to do any twists or anything.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Maybe I'll have to just bleep this out if you think it's too much. But I just want to talk about how movie is a backdoor zombie movie, and nobody told me, and I'm very upset. That's as far as I'll go with the spoilers. It's way more than you initially think it is. It starts off as a home invasion movie, and then you realize that's just the tip of the iceberg, and it becomes something much greater than that.
Oh yeah,
on like a national scale, but it's really cool.
It's very cool. But yeah, so and then the family, of course, like you said, home invasion style, and then it just kind of grows from there and becomes more interesting and more in depth as the movie goes on.
Yeah.
Keeping with the horror and comedy themes throughout the entirety of the movie.
Yeah.
Constantly, I never thought the main characters were safe. Yeah. Which was really nice. I always thought, oh, this character's got to die. They're going to die. And then they just didn't. Which I thought was really cool.
I think I did kind of pick up... I agree with you. For a while, I did think that like main character death was a thing that was going to happen, because it just felt like that would be a thing that would happen.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while... I think I did pick up on the idea that the characters weren't going to die, and I was correct about that. But by that point, like most of the 10th stuff had happened already, so
yeah,
it wasn't too bad. But
and let me tell you, once they start like explaining stuff to you, it just gets incredibly interesting, and I'm in. I'm ready to hear more. And then
because it's this weird high concept movie that doesn't happen anymore, where it's like horror movies are like there's a ghost and it lives in a doll, and this one it's like there's a family that is being stalked by a mysterious other family, and then this and then this and then this, and then this movie's not what you thought at all at a certain point. It's like something else entirely.
Yeah, well, and then the major twist at the end, just threw everything into an even like crazier context, and it makes you want to go back and rewatch it. Because I think it really does. You'll end up picking up more things that you didn't notice from before, and I think that's really what horror movies need.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I do kind of want to rewatch it because I feel like I'm gonna pick up on certain things.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah.
And so,
in fact, it is the kind of twist that had me kicking myself, because I realized there's actually a fair amount of evidence throughout the movie that the twist was coming, and I didn't realize. I didn't know.
Well, because he had no.
So it's a pretty well constructed twist. I like see bad twists like Now You See Me. Everybody references that as like a horrible twist. It just happens, and you had like no inkling that it was even a possibility. And it's like it's a gotcha moment, because it's like, how could you have possibly have known? But good twists are good because the story actually reinforced them in a clever, sneaky way throughout. And Us does do that.
Yeah.
So.
And I appreciate that greatly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Us is definitely a hard recommendation for me.
No, yeah, it's a recommendation for me, but what I want to ask you is... And this is... I appreciate Jordan Peele's filmmaking, I really do, but did you find Us to be scary?
Not in the traditional sense.
Yeah, I would... Okay. It was creepy at times, it was kind of disturbing at times, but the common thread between Get Out and Us is that I was never tense or scared throughout. I
don't know about not being tense.
I wasn't that tense. I was fairly relaxed throughout Us. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. That's why I'm asking you. I mean,
it wasn't incredibly tense. Like, I wasn't like, ooh, or anything. But, I was, watching it, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of getting a little intense.
I mean, I guess.
Like, the whole home invasion sequence was pretty...
I
times.
guess that was okay. Yeah, but
mainly that sequence.
I guess, I suppose, but the tension kind of, yeah, no, that was pretty good. But other than that, I have this thing where I think Jordan Peele's a fantastic filmmaker, but he's not particularly great at like doing strong horror. He can make a horror themed movie, but it's more or less like just horror themed and not all that, like, it doesn't stick with me, and it didn't make me that tense in the moment. I think if he could stand to improve in one area, it's like make a real like effective horror movie. He's getting there. I think Us was more effective than Get Out, but he's still not quite there.
I agree.
So yeah,
I could.
that's
see
what
that.
I want to see from him in the future. Like maybe talk to Ari Aster about.
Which he has done.
Has he?
Alert! He has done.
Okay.
He I believe he messaged Ari Aster
Ari
about
Aster.
Midsummer.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Ari Aster is going to take him under his wing and teach him how to psychologically destroy the audience.
Yeah.
Which I'm looking forward to it.
But anyway,
I really am.
the reason why I know that is because Jordan Peele ended up reaching out to Ari Aster because he got a pre-showing of Midsummer. And Jordan Peele was blown away. Just saying. Very excited.
Midsummer is going to be great. And I know this, and I'm excited. And it's like 3 hours long, apparently.
I'm very...
Which is exciting, because I'm excited to see a 3-hour Ari Aster movie.
Oh,
but
God.
Also...
Do you remember how long Hereditary felt like?
If Hereditary were 3 hours long, I would have died.
Hereditary is, what, 2 hours?
Yeah, not even. I think it's under 2 hours, but it felt like an eternity.
It
because
really
because
did.
It just kept ratcheting up the tension, and it felt... I wanted it to end simply because it was hurting me so much.
I walked away and I was tired.
Yeah.
Because my legs and my butt cheeks and everything,
clenched.
my stomach were just clenched.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
But apparently, what Ari Aster described Midsummer as, he said, don't go into it expecting another Hereditary. What he said was it's not as, like, outwardly scary as Hereditary. He said it's more, like, gross or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. But he said don't expect, like, an intense horror movie. So, at least there's that. It's probably going to be pretty disturbing. I'm certain of that. But at least maybe it won't be as stressful is the best way to describe a Hereditary. It's just, it made me feel very stressed. And I hope that Midsummer isn't like 3 hours of stress, because I don't think I can handle that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. I mean, there was another Midsummer trailer revealed that worries me, because there's some quite frightening imagery in it. So,
oh boy.
I don't know.
Good.
Like Hereditary-esque frightening imagery. I saw it and I was like, wow, that really reminds me of the images that wouldn't leave me when I was at my home, in my bed at home at night for about 2 weeks after I saw Hereditary.
Good.
So,
Great.
I just, I don't know why I do this to myself. I don't know why I seek out the Ari Aster's movies.
Go watch Us and Midsummer just to support him. Just turn Midsummer on in the background. Just go pay for your ticket and then don't go in.
I would honestly do that. I would go in. What I would do, since Midsummer is pretty long, I would go in, and right when I start to feel stressed, I would just leave.
And then go back another day and watch it from that point. So you pay for it 3 times to watch the whole movie?
I would pay to not see Midsummer. Because he deserves the money, but I don't want to do that to myself. But definitely go see Us and encourage Jordan Peele to keep making movies, because they so far it's been an upward curve. He's honing his craft and he's getting better, and I think his next movie stands a chance to be like great. So
I hope so.
Definitely go support that man, because he is a very good filmmaker.
Yeah,
and I'm enjoying his work.
Me too. I don't think I have any other things on music. Or movies?
Good, because we're on movies. Uh, I've seen like, okay,
Want to talk about Godzilla?
I do the first one.
The first Godzilla.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do a thing. I'm gonna
Okay.
do a bit of a thing.
Okay.
I have seen, okay, Criterion has a Criterion channel now, and they have super super high quality streaming classic movies, classic art house movies, that kind of stuff. And I have an account, and I've watched 4 movies so far, and I've really enjoyed being able to see older movies that I've never seen. So the 4 movies I want to talk about are The Third Man, Godzilla, Black Narcissus, and Mulholland Drive. And I'll just quick fire. Third Man, it's a classic for a reason. It's a great little noir film. Um, everything's well and good until oh, what's his name? Orson Welles shows up and they just steals the entire show. Every scene Orson Welles is in is just amazing. So really really good. Check it out. Godzilla, the first one, 1956, I want to say, is great. I want to talk more in depth on this at some point, but basically the first Godzilla film was not cheesy or dumb. It was genuinely the Japan's response to the nukings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It treats the disaster with respect, and it treats Godzilla as a very frightening concept, and the whole movie is dark and intense and scary. And I'm not gonna go see King of the Monsters. Also, Black Narcissus. Black Narcissus is really interesting. You okay?
Keep going.
Black Narcissus is really interesting. It's about nuns in a third world country who go slowly insane because they're around a lot of not white people. And it came out in the 40s. And I'm not calling it racist. I'm just saying, well, the British people in the 1940s had a bit of a... They were... This movie hasn't aged particularly well. It's not as bad as you would think it is. It's not as bad as you think it would be, but one of the main characters is in brownface.
Blackface?
And what?
Isn't it blackface?
Well, it's not like it's not black. It's like a brownish complexion.
I know, but they call that blackface.
No, brownface is when you're brown is like Indian. Not black.
Oh, I gotcha.
It's a white actress with brown makeup on her face because she's meant to be playing a foreigner.
Gotcha.
Which
gotcha.
is... It's a little iffy by today's
standard. A little.
It's a lot iffy by
iffy.
today's standard. But all that aside, it's a super good movie about religion. I like movies about religion. It's an interesting topic for me. And then I saw Mulholland Drive. I already talked about it. It's weird. So yes, this is my paid ad. Go check out Criterion channel. It's fun.
Let's talk about Rocket Man.
Let's do it.
I like Rocket Man.
I like Rocket Man. I'm glad we're in agreement.
I also saw Detective Pikachu.
Oh, boy. Real quick, Rocket Man. Rocket Man is it's a so-so biopic that's got really good music in it.
I agree. I think Taron Egerton did a fantastic job portraying Elton John in a very fun, lively way.
It has so many terrible biopic cliches, and yet I didn't really mind because it's just really fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine. It's pretty good.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yes. You want to talk about Detective Pikachu?
Yeah, so what I'm going to say about this is I'm not gonna say a whole lot because you should just go watch a video of the Screensavers podcast.
Oh yeah. Shout out to
Oh,
that. I have already discussed Detective Pikachu
in length.
on another channel.
You
But
have. And I think you really should go watch that because it goes way more in depth than what we're going to do here. And it's good. It's solid. Detective Pikachu is fun. It's alright. It's worth one watch. And if you have kids, maybe worth a couple more watches with them.
yeah, it's not a good movie, but it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
And that's really all that counts.
Yeah.
All that matters.
Ryan Reynolds is fun in it. The main kid is okay. He's fine. Same thing with all the other actors, I guess.
Yeah.
Bill Knightley's fun. He's not particularly good, but he's fun.
Bill Nye, I'll never turn down Bill Nye, even if he's doing a bad performance in a bad movie, like now. But
it's fun to watch him. It really is.
he's just having a blast.
Yeah.
I specifically got the idea in this movie that he did not know what was going on.
Well,
Like when Bill Nye says things about Pokemon, all I could think in my head was like, does this man know what Pokemon are? Like maybe his children and grandchildren explained it to him briefly, but he's just like, oh, I don't. It doesn't matter. I don't know. That's not a good Bill Nye impression.
That's fine.
I don't think I can do a good Bill Nye impression.
But yeah, no, I think you're right. I don't think he cares.
Yeah, I mean, somehow he can just read lines and make it entertaining.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Let me tell you, he is one of the main reasons that makes the second and third Pirates of the Caribbean movies better.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy them on their own, but with him, they just get even better.
Yeah. Anywho, do you want to talk about E3? Want to move on to...
Is it video game time?
I think it is.
I think it is.
So, E3 came and went.
And the one thing I learned from it was Banjo-Kazooie is in Smash.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I learned. I'm very excited about that.
Not only that, but him and Dragon Quest folks are on Smash.
I didn't learn that.
What?
I just learned about Banjo.
Oh, you weren't watching the stream.
No, I
suppose you're probably busy.
I'm always busy.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah. So also Dragon Quest people are going to be in Smash, and they did not going to do a good job of describing or explaining to what capacity they'll be in Smash, because it kind of made it look like it's going to be playable fighters, but it also could be something else because it didn't specify. So I don't know.
All right.
We'll see.
Cool, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a big Dragon Quest guy, although when Dragon Quest 11 comes out, I have been really looking forward to a new JRPG, and I'm thinking about getting into Dragon Quest, which is known as one of the better series for JRPGs.
Sure.
But speaking of JRPGs, I picked up I Am Setsuna? Setsuna?
Sure. I know the name, I don't know anything about it.
It's a JRPG, that's all I know.
I did not know it was a JRPG. I thought it was something else.
Nope. And I haven't played it yet. There, that's all I got on that.
Sick. Anyway, do you want to do a rundown of the different press conferences?
Sure, I don't know.
Here, I'll get a list up for you.
Keanu Reeves was there.
He was.
Everybody loves him, and
E3,
I love that.
Here we go. GameSpot.
I really want Keanu Reeves to forever be in the minds and hearts of everyone everywhere.
Yeah.
Because he's just
a good boy.
It.
He's a good boy. Okay. EA Play. Okay, so we kicked things off. I mean, I did. I didn't. Apparently, there were two things before this, but I didn't care about them. We kicked things off with Electronic Arts EA Play, who did a weird kind of thing with Greg Miller. They showed off Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order,
and that looks just okay.
It looks like I wouldn't care about it if it weren't for the fact that I love the Star Wars Force Unleashed games, and it looks a lot like one of those. So I'll play it just for nostalgia's sake. Otherwise, I don't think it looks bad. I don't think anybody says it looks bad.
No.
It looks, there's like no gimmick to it. You're a Jedi, you're fighting stormtroopers, and that's
Yeah.
it.
There's nothing that interests me yet, other
Yeah.
than the fact that the studio behind it is really good at making single player games.
Yes, that should
stories.
be noted. I have a little more faith in them because Respawn is great,
Yeah.
and it's a shame that. I mean, I will say it's a shame that they're working under EA, but so far it hasn't really been an issue for them. I mean, Titanfall 2 was just fine without any like pay to win mechanics, or I don't even think it had microtransactions. If it did, it wasn't even noticeable. So yeah, no. Titanfall 2 is fine. Apex Legends is pretty good. So I have faith in them to deliver a quality game.
I do too. I really hope that it ends up being
A little more interesting than the trailer made it look.
for sure. Yeah.
Because they showed 15 minutes of raw gameplay, and I will say I appreciate the gameplay because you could tell it was raw gameplay. It did not look like it was structured for specifically for presentation. It looked like real gameplay.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it, and that's really cool.
So that's happening.
Yeah, and that's literally all I care about from EA's conference. Xbox, a lot of stuff happened. They showed off Ori 2.
Which I haven't played one, but I really want to.
Definitely, if you like Metroidvanias, it's like one of the best. So
yeah, so Ori 2
Ori
coming
2
is...
looks really really cool, and I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, so that's really good news.
Cyberpunk 2099, that's what it's called, right?
77.
2077, yeah. Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, he has the second most lines of dialogue in the entire game.
They got that guy from Fortnite in there.
I don't care.
What else happened in Microsoft? There's a new Minecraft game coming out, Minecraft Dungeons, which it does not interest me because it's just got the Minecraft aesthetic and it's a generic dungeon crawler. So
I'm just gonna play Minecraft.
Yeah. Why would you make another Minecraft game that has literally none of the appeal of Minecraft?
We jumped over Cyberpunk a little quick here, I think, because
I still don't know. We just don't know.
We don't know it. Okay, so that's the problem, right? This game.
We know it's going to be a first-person shooter RPG. That's all we really know.
This game is beyond hyped.
Yeah.
Like so hyped. People are losing their minds over it. If this game fails, there are going to be so many people out of jobs and so many people that just like riot against this company because
it's from the makers of Witcher 3, the most vastly overrated game of this century.
According to you.
Yes, according to me.
I would agree if it wasn't for the fact that I just don't think it was made for me.
No, I don't know, man. Like a fantasy RPG for me, like yes, it was made for me. That's like my whole thing. I like fantasy RPGs.
I do too. I still don't think it was made for me.
Everybody. Okay, here's my thing on The Witcher 3. Before you tell me I'm an idiot, which I mean, yeah, fair. But here's my thing on The Witcher 3. All right, I've had somebody sit down with me and they're like, okay, here's the complexity of Witcher 3's story. This thing happens earlier in the game, but then it's just such a little thing, but it changes what happens later on in the game. And everything's interconnected, and it's like next level storytelling, and it's a masterpiece. And I'd say, okay, but it's not fun, right? Like, I appreciate it, but it's not fun to play. And it's not, like, the gameplay is just not engaging. It's got a cool story, really good, nice graphics, but I just don't want to play it. I've tried. Don't get me wrong. I own Witcher 3 and all the expansions. And I've tried like 3 separate times to just sit down and force myself to play it. But that's all I'm doing. I'm just forcing myself to play it. So...
yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like just a wall you have to get over or something.
There must be, and I just haven't been interested in the game enough to get there.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
So
that's why I say it's a game that just wasn't made for me, because the gameplay isn't there.
Because plenty of people love it.
Yeah.
So it's I guess yeah. I gladly admit that it's just me. It's not my thing. But Cyberpunk stands a good chance to be interesting because it seems very different from The Witcher 3. So
Yeah, and I want it to be good. I really do. It sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like the Fallout series that I wish had happened.
yeah,
You know, because I'm not a huge Fallout guy, and I want Fallout to be better. And this sounds like better Fallout to me.
sure.
And I know that's once again personal taste, all on me and whatnot. But that's just kind of how I see it. And I I have high hopes for it. I know some people are really, really diving into it, but I can't do that yet until we see something else about it.
Yeah,
Oh, also, quick side note: there's a game out right now called Void Bastards that looks amazing. Go look it up.
that sounds amazing. Void Bastards.
Yeah, I think it's just PC right now or PC Xbox.
What kind of game is it?
It's like weird cell shaded first person shooter with roguelike things where each spaceship you go to is randomly generated and you go in there and you have to find things,
Oh, cool.
collect things, get back to your ship, go to another ship and do it again.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it looks amazing and I really want to play it.
And you say it's available now on Steam?
I believe so.
Cool.
I could be wrong about that, but I believe so.
Cool. When do you get the check, by the way? Because I want to... I'm just kidding. I was trying to make a joke out of that, but it
didn't work.
I realized it ended up sounding like super serious. Like I was like genuinely accusing you of plugging a game because you were paid, which of course isn't happening.
Oh, it looks really stinking cool though.
All right, yeah.
It really does.
I mean, I'm cool just from the name.
Yeah, well, and the aesthetic of it is amazing. It's like this weird retro, very colorful, vibrant world that kind of looks like a comic book. It's
will
interesting.
definitely check it out when it comes to console.
Yeah, I hope it does end up making its way to PS4 or the Switch, and because the Switch I think would really benefit from a game like that.
Yeah. Anyway,
moving on.
Bethesda's was
bad.
I mean, Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal's gonna be good.
They showed off some gameplay and it looks
good.
really, really cool. That was cool. It was really entertaining because of the fake crowd.
Yeah, I heard a bit about the fake crowd where like some random old man would walk on stage and people would just like start screaming.
Yeah. And it, like after everything that was said, it's just like and there's that clip that you see. They're like, yeah, we made Fallout 76 into a battle royale game, and the crowd's just like, ah! Like it's just like a small group of people just screamed, and it's like,
oh jeez.
no, that was the fakest crowd I've seen at E3 probably. And then there was one guy that would just yell every time somebody said something, and eventually you just didn't hear him anymore. So like he got escorted out. It's like, oh, I loved it. It was great. But as for what they showed off, nothing really interested me. They confirmed that they're still working on Elder Scrolls 6. They showed off Doom Eternal. They showed off a little bit about the new Fallout 76 DLC, which is Battle Royale.
Didn't Bethesda announce a while ago before E3 that they finally are working on a new IP as well?
Yeah, no, that was last year's E3 they announced that. And it's called like Starfield or something like that, Star something, where they haven't given any info about it, but it's like a sci-fi game.
Okay. Cool. So no update on that?
Yeah. My guess for it is it's going to be like a third installment in the whole like Fallout Elder Scrolls type
open
thing.
World, but just
I'm guessing it's going to be that
place.
kind of thing. That's my prediction.
Gotcha.
But cuz that's the only game Bethesda like really makes.
Yeah, that and Doom.
Yeah.
You know, I want them to do something cool and new and interesting, and
Not going to happen.
yeah, probably not.
But I'm still looking forward to Elder Scrolls 6.
Sure.
I really hope nothing kills that for me. But I mean, knowing Bethesda, they're gonna mess it up somehow. So we'll see.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Devolver Digital was amazing.
Yeah.
I think their live streams get better and better every year, and what live stream and quote unquote live stream because it's pre-recorded. Have you seen any of their stuff?
No, I haven't.
Oh, definitely watch all 3 of the previous E3s because they do a pre-recorded thing, and geez, I won't even spoil it for you. Just go check it out.
Okay.
It's really cool.
What did they announce this year?
They announced I don't remember a lot of stuff. There's it's just Devolver Digital type stuff, pixel games.
Yeah.
There's a horror game where there's a monster loose on a like a sci-fi spaceship, but the twist is you are the monster and you have to hunt down people on the spaceship. And that sounds really cool.
Yeah, that's neat.
It looks really neat. And they showed a little more of My Friend Pedro, and then I immediately went and pre-ordered it after seeing that.
Yeah.
And because it looks so fun. And yeah. Oh! There's an Enter the Gungeon arcade game.
Yes.
Arcade cabinet that
Yes.
you can buy and put in your home.
I
Which
want
sounds
it.
so cool. It's a light gun game.
I
It's
know.
Like, it's like the weirdest. Oh! Now I'm remembering they're just like insane announcements. It's the they released a bootleg game on Steam that's just bootleg versions of all their games, or like a collection of their games.
I heard about that too.
Where it's like really bad parodies of their biggest games. Like there's an Enter the Gungeon thing. It's got like a pun on Enter the Gungeon, and there's like a. It looks so weird.
I don't understand that, but
Yeah.
it's really funny.
It is. Devolver, they're just the best company right now. They're like the last bastion of like they're just really fun.
Yeah.
I really like them. PC Gaming Show was just a snooze fest. Nothing really interesting happened except for they showed off. Jeez, why am I blanking on the name? The third one in the series. It's like Yakuza, but not Yakuza. Whatever.
Oh, Shenmue.
Shenmue, right.
Yeah,
They
Shenmue
showed off
3.
Shenmue 3 a little bit. That was kind of neat, but I don't care about Shenmue, clearly, because I can't even remember what the series is called.
I have watched a complete playthrough of Shenmue 1,
Yeah.
and it's a game.
I like Shenmue. I like watching clips from Shenmue, because the voice acting's so bad.
It's... Okay, so my recommendation, if you want to watch Shenmue and then just, like, figure out what that game is all about, watch Weekend Warriors. They did a full playthrough of Shenmue 1, and it's a game.
Oh, yeah.
But what really makes that fun is the two guys that are doing it.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, PC Gaming Show, not much else.
Cool.
There's a lot of like really generic and uninteresting games. Because the thing with PC Gaming Shows, anybody can pay to have a spot on it.
Oh.
So it's just a bunch of indie developers showing off their boring games.
Ouch.
Yeah. Okay. Ubisoft.
What they got?
They got Kingsman DLC for Rainbow Six Siege.
Some people are excited for that.
Except for some reason, they never directly acknowledge it as Kingsman DLC.
Yeah.
Which, they literally used a song from Kingsman in the reveal trailer. And yet, it almost seems like they're trying to dodge copyright, and yet that can't be it, because they actually used a song from Kingsman in the trailer. So clearly that's what they're doing.
Is it a Kingsman song, or was it just like
No,
Freebird?
it was from the Kingsman soundtrack. It's a song called "Manners Maketh Man." So
Maybe they just paid for that one thing, and then everything else is them
but like
dodging.
I feel like they're gonna get a lawsuit because there's the marketing that doesn't involve Kingsman. It just says, "Here's this guy in a suit, and Kingsman music's playing, and he's got a little pistol, and it's like it's clearly supposed to be Kingsman.
I've definitely seen this guy that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because my brother plays Siege, and he's looking forward to the new character and whatnot. And I don't know, man. I mean,
I Siege isn't really on my radar. They announced a new Rainbow Six game.
Breakpoint,
which is a zombie game.
Zombie game.
Which really surprised me because
that's weird.
When they said it's a new Rainbow Six zombie experience, I was like, okay, they're adding zombie DLC to Siege, that makes sense. But then they're like, this is a brand new game, and I was like,
okay,
that's
what's happening in Breakpoint.
They're making a full on zombie game.
Why?
Rainbow Six, you know.
Everybody
knows Rainbow Six is about zombies.
Cool anymore. Zombies haven't been cool. Well, for ages.
I made the comment. At what point does a Rainbow Six game cease to become a Rainbow Six game? Like, Rainbow Six, it's really jumped the shark with this one. I don't know what to say.
This one doesn't make sense.
I mean, zombies never go out of style.
They do. They have been.
Other stuff.
Let's talk about Left 4 Dead 5.
No,
let's talk about Last for Us 2.
Ubisoft. What else did they? Oh, okay, Watch Dogs Legion.
That is funny. I like the being an old lady and tasing people. I think that's
the
great.
Rest of it looks like but the old lady sequence.
And I actually
made me want to play the game.
I actually enjoyed Watch Dogs 1. I know it's not. Most people they poo-poo it. And I played
a very little amount of it, and I think Watch Dogs 2 is better than Watch Dogs 1.
Yeah.
No, I think it is. I think it definitely is, because it's like it improved on some of the issues of Watch Dogs 1.
I haven't played 2 yet. I'm still on 1.
I've played way more of 2 than I've played of 1, because 2 is fun, and it's fine. It's not like a great game, but it's fine. I played a fair amount of it, and I'm vaguely interested in Legion, but I'm certainly not getting it full price. I might get it if it's like on sale for like $10 or something, like 2 years from now.
Yeah,
like I did with Watchbog. Yeah, it's the swamp preservation game. Watchbogs.
It's the sequel to Firewatch.
Yeah. Anywho, let's move on. Squeenix had a show, and they showed off gameplay for Final Fantasy VII, and hoo boy, that would have gotten me excited if I cared about Final Fantasy VII.
Let me tell you, it looks beautiful.
It does look pretty cool, but I'm probably not gonna play.
Yeah, you're not a Final Fantasy guy.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I enjoyed 15. The combat looks a lot like 15, but more interesting.
I think it kind of hit like a middle ground between 15 and the older games. It kind of looked like to me, because it's clearly not like turn-based, but it had
like weird turn-based elements, which isn't like, I don't know
like
how to explain that.
It's like two turn-based combat just directly mashed into real-time combat.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, so I'm very interested.
So, and then they there wasn't really anything else of interest for me, except the whole time I was just waiting to hear about their Marvel Avengers game, which is coming out. And when it finally came, I was like, cool. And then it was just a big old disappointment. Because they didn't show anything. Like, they showed no gameplay. They showed a cutscene of Nolan North and Troy Baker talking in a dramatic manner, and that's about all we saw. Great. And they were vague about what the game is. They didn't really explain what it is. So,
from what it sounds like something I'm not gonna play until it goes on sale.
Yeah, well, I just need more info on it. I can't be excited about it because I don't know what it is. It's the Death Stranding effect, where it's like, I want to be excited, but I don't even know what kind of game it is. And they even released a new gameplay for Death Stranding, and I still don't know what kind of game it is.
It doesn't matter. I am beyond interested. That's the second game that I pre-ordered as far as what's happening in gaming this year.
Oh, you did pre-order Death Stranding?
Oh, yeah.
So you will be playing it.
I couldn't help it, man. Okay. immediately Hideo just had me by the balls.
It takes a fair amount for me to pre-order a game.
Me too, but Hideo is enough.
That's
Guillermo
fair.
is enough. Mads
That's fair.
Mikkelsen is enough. Norman Reedus is enough.
There's a character named Die Hard.
Die Hard Man. Yes, that is enough.
Did you notice Nicholas Winding Refn, the guy who did Drive and Neon Demon? He's for some reason.
I didn't know what he looked like, so I didn't realize that until I saw his name.
Yeah, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes sense because he's got, Guillermo del Toro, and he's got like weird directors in it. So. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm interested. I'm beyond interested, and that's why it's mine.
I'm just excited for us entering this age of their real actors in video games now, because it's cool.
It's very cool. Like
Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen and Léa Seydoux are in Death Stranding, and it's sick. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm so excited, man.
Anyway, on to the real show, Nintendo Direct,
which is pretty exciting.
There was some really good stuff in here.
Link's Awakening. Yeah. I'm so excited.
It was pretty interesting throughout the most of it, and then at the end they hit us with that really amazing banjo reveal. And I was super excited about it. I was really happy about it. And I was coming down from it. And then they started up this trailer. And I was like, oh, this kind of looks like Breath of the Wild. And then, Link and Zelda showed up. And I was like, oh, cool. There's new DLC coming for Breath of the Wild. That's kind of neat. And it went through it. And there's this new really, really creepy, scary enemy guy in it. And I was like, that's really neat. I'm excited for more story DLC. And then it hit us with that a sequel to Breath of the Wild is in development. And I literally died. I am so hyped for that, man. You have no idea. The day before I pitched an idea where I was like, I want a post Calamity Ganon Breath of the Wild where he's gone, but there's like other stuff to do. And then the day after, they announced that a direct sequel to Breath of the Wild is coming. And it's like... And in that sequel, they showed Hyrule Castle without the Calamity. And I was like...
exactly what you wanted.
It's exactly what I wanted.
It's exactly what you wanted.
And I am so happy.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So, Nintendo wins E3 simply for that 1-2 punch at the end. Like... Oh, and they showed off Animal Crossing a bit, and I'm super pumped for that, man.
Animal Crossing is going to be great. I'm so excited. Because
now that I've seen they showed off like a fair amount of gameplay at the Nintendo Treehouse. I don't know if you saw that, but the concept they showed in the trailer of like what the game is actually like is really, really cool, and I'm super excited to play it because I've never played an Animal Crossing game, and this sounds like a great place to start because instead of just being in a town that you have to work with, you actually build the community on a deserted island, and it's like that's right up my alley. And I'm super happy about it.
It's gonna be great. It's very exciting.
And they showed some real honest to goodness Sword and Shield gameplay at the Treehouse.
There's a lot to take in there, man.
Yeah. And it's actually exactly what I wanted from Sword and Shield. Back a while ago, I think before Sword and Shield were even announced, we were talking about how we wanted the next Pokemon game to keep that Let's Go style of the Pokemon are out in the world and you have to go and get them instead of the random encounters, and that is what it is. Except the random encounters are no longer just Pokemon ball throwing. It was just Pokemon ball. I sound like a grandpa. The random encounters are no longer just catching. There are actually fighting, like in the mainline Pokemon games.
The world is huge.
And
it looks ginormous.
I was not expecting such a big open world. It's really cool.
I'm so excited, man. Ginormous raids?
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
3-on-1. What was it, 4-on-1?
I think it's a 4-on-1 raid.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this game to come out. I'm buying Sword.
I mean...
That's the one I'm going with because it has a Dark Souls pup.
I feel like since you and I are definitely gonna get it at launch, and we're friends, I feel like I should get shield.
It's up to you, man. I'm not gonna force
I'm not
you.
gonna take sword from you. Of course, you need to get.
I mean,
sword.
yeah, well, there was no option there
Because
for
that's
me.
the Dark Souls pup game, and of course, so
Yeah,
I might get shield. I don't know. We'll see.
but yeah, big old Sif is just gonna be there with his big old sword, and he's gonna teach me a thing or two.
Yes.
Baldur's Gate 3.
I don't care.
You don't care?
I've never played a Baldur's Gate game.
I am so excited for Baldur's Gate 3. Let me just tell you.
Okay.
Pumped, okay? Moving on to something I'm even more pumped about. Elden Ring.
I don't know what that is.
It's Dark Souls. It's the new Dark Souls.
Like From Software's actually making it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Coming out next year, it sounds.
Oh, they're already.
I know.
They're already doing another game.
Yes.
I
That's
literally
that's the
did
George
not
R.
even-
Martin game.
I literally did not even know about it.
This is the game.
Okay.
We don't know. It sounds like it's gonna have even more combat options in the Dark Souls style than Dark Souls had, which Dark Souls had a lot. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be pretty crazy.
I bet this game's gonna satisfy people who didn't like Sekiro.
Probably.
Yeah.
Which, it's gonna be really weird because Sekiro's combat is awesome. Like, it's very...
Yeah.
You have to get used to that one kind of combat, but it's very, very well done. Meanwhile, this one I think is kind of going in the opposite direction, where the combat's still going to be well done.
It's probably going to be more Dark Souls-esque.
Yes,
like, more
for sure,
defensive.
for sure. Well, I don't even know if it's going to be more defensive, but it's going to be
right.
more options.
Traditional.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's very exciting. It's another RPG with apparently these amazing storytelling elements from George R. R. Martin, who has been brought on,
That's
the
pretty exciting.
Game of Thrones man.
Good old Game of Thrones Dark Souls crossover. That's pretty nice.
So that's happening. Some people were saying that it's going to be a Game of Thrones game, and I knew that wasn't going to be true. I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
But this
I wouldn't put it
looks
past
cool.
them to just like throw a Game of Thrones character at you at some point.
Jon Snow
just
comes
to mess
in.
with you. Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
That'd be great.
And then dies instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'd hate it,
What
but
if
I'd
you
love
okay?
it.
What would happen if you on Dark Souls sometimes you like fall off things and then you land in a very bad situation. What if you're just like walking through a room and the floor gives way and you fall into a cathedral and you realize it's the Red Wedding as it's happening. So like everybody's getting stabbed. And you just have to kill everybody.
That would be amazing. I mean, I'm not... There's no reason for me not to enjoy that.
Yeah.
But no, we don't know a whole lot about it. There's a neat video out right now by Vadio Video that he already did a breakdown of the trailer that we got. It's really solid. Makes me excited.
All right.
Otherwise,
Borderlands 3, they showed
Borderlands
off
3.
more gameplay.
I still haven't watched gameplay. I know
You haven't watched any?
You told me to go watch some, and I'm like,
That's fine.
I'm not gonna.
If you don't,
I decided
watch,
not to.
Yeah, if you don't watch, then you won't be like. Just it's painful for me waiting for the game because I've seen gameplay, and this new gameplay. I love the new gameplay because it's the gameplay in the reveal. It was pretty cool, but it definitely felt a little bit like it's a little optimized for the reveal to look as cool as possible, But this new gameplay, it's just straight up like normal gameplay, and it looks just like Borderlands 2 but amped up. And you know what?
I'm hype as hell.
That's fine. That's great. In fact.
Hell yeah.
Because Borderlands 2 is perfect, so more of the same with more features is neat.
That's what I want.
One of my favorite little things about it is the stats of the weapons you pick up. They've added a weapon like rating. So you know how sometimes it's difficult to like look at two weapons side by side and say like, oh, this has got lower damage but higher fire rate. Is that gonna like even out? but each weapon has like a weapon rating. So when comparing two and one's got a higher rating, you can tell that it's better.
Okay. Yeah, that'll
So
be nice.
that's gonna make like sifting through loot a lot easier.
Yeah, well, and that's what the game needs.
If it works.
Yeah,
Because it's like with all the guns they've got, that I feel like it's not going to be reliable, but we'll see.
Yeah. With that, we also have Borderlands 2 DLC.
Oh yeah, which I've beaten.
I haven't beaten it yet, so don't tell me anything.
Oh
but
yeah, I won't.
It's very exciting.
It is very cool.
It's very exciting.
Very fun. I like it. I did it through in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, and it was great.
I'm having a blast with it so far.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Go back to that page you were on that had more games.
Oh, it's done.
No.
Oh, right. Okay. FIFA 20. Let's talk about FIFA 20.
I hate you.
Okay.
Halo Infinite doesn't interest me.
Yeah, okay, so since we're looking at this, Ghostwire Tokyo looks really cool.
I know nothing about it. Tell me.
It's it's the guy that did Resident Evil 4. And they showed a trailer, and it was a CGI trailer, no gameplay, but conceptually it looks really crazy. It's like a ghost game in Tokyo, not like a horror game, but like it's like paranormal themed RPG.
Oh,
but like not scary. Oh yeah, it will. They just brought out this adorable Japanese woman who's like one of the people who worked on it. I don't know if you've seen anything about her, but she's so adorable, and she just walked out and she's like, "It's spooky." And it's like, that's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear about Ghostwire Tokyo. It looks really cool.
All right.
Halo Infinite, they showed a CGI trailer.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And that's all we got. Let's talk about a little bit of what we've been playing lately.
Okay. I've played and beaten Moonlighter.
Moonlighter?
Yeah, and I enjoyed it a lot. It's Stardew Valley meets Enter the Gungeon.
That's fun.
Yeah, well, do you know what it is?
Isn't it like a roguelite?
Yeah, well, it's a roguelike, but you know how I said my main issue with Enter the Gungeon is that there's no, like, persistent progression, and you have to start all the way over every time you die?
Mm-hmm.
In Moonlighter, it goes by a day-night cycle. By night, you go into the dungeon, and you fight until you can't anymore, and then you can choose to escape with the loot you've collected, and then by day you run a shop where you sell that loot for cash, and then you use the cash to buy upgrades for yourself and upgrades for the shop so you can sell more loot quicker, and then you go back. So by day you sell stuff and you run a shop, and by night you fight in the dungeon, and it's really cool.
That sounds really cool.
I beat it. So
neat.
Yeah, it's like Enter the Gungeon, but with like persistent progression, and you can permanently upgrade your character so that you can actually progress a little easier, and with management elements similar to Stardew Valley. So
that sounds like your kind of game entirely.
Absolutely, it's great.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, check that out. It's fun. I think it's on sale on Switch right now.
I picked up Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Sick.
It's a Donkey Kong game.
That's good.
Yeah. If you like Donkey Kong, it's a good game. I know it's old, but I'm playing it now.
Well, it's not that old. It was on the Wii U, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? I picked up Kirby, the new Kirby game.
Star Allies.
Yes. It's fun. I enjoy it. I'm biased though because I've always enjoyed all Kirby games.
Kirby, unless it's Kirby Air Ride, I've never really been into Kirby.
I love Kirby. It's just a pleasant experience, and that's exactly what I wanted. Was just this nice, pleasant experience, and that's exactly what it is. It's really nice and compatible. You can do it with 1 to 4 players,
mm-hmm.
and it's just fun. I have a good time with it. So that's enjoyable. There's this other game called God, what's it called? I feel lost.
You feel lost?
I can't remember what it's called.
Okay.
It's essentially Legend of Zelda. It takes every inspiration from Legend of Zelda, and
Is it Ocean Horn?
no, it's like a princess something flower, moon flower, something Sakura flower princess,
Alright.
and it's just 8-bit Zelda.
Okay.
It's fun. I'm enjoying it. I picked it up for cheap, and now I'm playing it, and I'm having a good time with it. So I'm playing that, and I picked up Mario Ace Tennis Ace.
Yes.
So I'll play that with you sometime.
Cool. Me personally, I beat Ultimate Vault Hunter mode in Borderlands 2
Congrats.
for the first time in ever. And it was pretty good. Pretty fun.
Was that hard?
Not really. I mean, the last fight was annoying, and I actually, the way I had been playing, like, it just was not working out with the Handsome Jack fight. The Handsome Jack fight was terrible with my setup. So I had to leave and go respec. But then when I came back, respect, I absolutely destroyed the fight. So, yeah. No, it was not that hard, even though I was really poorly optimized for most of it. So yeah, now I've got an unstoppable Maya.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, if you're listening to this and you need me to come and kill a boss for you, I will in one shot.
A singular shot.
I mean, yeah, because I've got Cloud Kill. You just need to shoot them once and they die.
Neat.
Yeah.
I think that's about it for
Like
for me.
Even on Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, if you phase lock somebody and shoot them once, yeah. Maya gets pretty overpowered.
Yeah, she's good.
Anywho.
Oh, Colin.
Yeah, what's up?
You messaged me.
You got a message?
You messaged me. What does it say? Hold on. It says, Happy Daddy Day.
Okay, yeah. Well, happy Daddy Day to you.
Thanks.
Anywho, I think it's about time to wrap it up because we're just rambling now. Well, I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you for A24 Quest, which we're not filming today. We're filming it
tomorrow.
Soonish. Yeah.
Maybe the
Anyway,
next day.
I'm going to go take my dad out to eat. And
I'm just going to go take my daddy out to eat.
Oh no.
In the bedroom.
I really wish you hadn't said that. I really, really wish you didn't.
That's my least favorite thing about dads being referred to as daddy.
Don't do that.
It's the absolute worst.
Yeah, but if it sounds like I'm getting quieter, it's because I have slouched away from the microphone at this point.
He has gotten lower progressively throughout this entire episode.
I'm kind of laying down. I'm kind of cool with it.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Anyway, it's been fun. I'll see you on the next one.
I'm going to go drink beer with my dad.
Sounds cool.
And eat ice cream cake. Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.